What is the Operation Raise the Colours thing about? Well, as with all sort of right wing stuff, it's kind of a thing and kind of not a thing. To put it in its most bare bones form, it is some people putting flags on lampposts. But obviously, there's a bit more to it than that. So we'll get into it. As you can see from the fact that this is being laid out in the Daily Mail, the way they're trying to sort of narrativize around this is that it's a grassroots thing, which obviously it isn't. It's being pushed by right-wing political interests, mostly online, but the newspapers and the GB News and that sort of thing. Let's go to the sort of the start of this, right? So, if there's one thing that rightoids love, it's getting to falsely play the victim. And that's what they've been doing for years. Literally, this is a sort of continuation of a running joke that we've sort of had with, if you remember Stuart Lee's thing about, it's illegal to say you're English nowadays. If you say you're English, you get thrown in jail, right? That is itself, that joke, hits on the kind of false victimhood narrative shit that right-wingers have tried to spin around the concept of Britishness, Englishness and all of that sort of thing. And this is very much a continuation of that, an extension of that. So, it brings together two of my least favourite things in the world, right-wing flag shaggers and Birmingham City Council. Yeah, we're going there. So, as regular viewers to the channel will know, Birmingham City Council is not my favourite organisation on earth. I am, for the record, a fine citizen, council taxpayer of Birmingham. And so am at the whim of the Birmingham City Council's writ, which frankly has been fucking shit for a very long time. We've mentioned for quite some time now that there's been a bin strike going on, and I've described how Birmingham has descended into a Mad Max hellscape of piles of rotting garbage everywhere and rats the size of T-Rex stalking the landscape, owning all of it. And I'm only slightly embellishing on the truth when I describe it in that way. Because that still rumbles on. That thing where the Labour Council are trying to fuck over the Unite union members by imposing less ideal contracts upon them, even though they'd already signed a contract. This isn't a new contract. This is a contract they're trying to enforce upon people. They're now basically trying to do fire and rehire type stuff, which is all very, very bad. And Unite the Union still haven't removed themselves as affiliates of the Labour Party. De-affiliated was the word I was looking for. They still haven't done that, so they're still being massive cocks, where the Labour government are enforcing the Labour Party Council's writ onto their workers by fucking them over. And they're still paying for it. They're paying to be in the abusive relationship. Anyway, that's not really related to this. I just want to bring up the wider context of how abysmally poor a job Birmingham City Council are currently doing in terms of basic governance. Inside that, it has to be said, that most of the decisions are not really being made by Birmingham City Council. They're being made by auditors. Because Birmingham City Council, as you may know, again, if you're a regular viewer of mine, went bust. They went bankrupt. Equal pay claims going back decades were rightly paid out because, those people had done that work over the course of time. But it basically bankrupted the council. Rather than helping the council out, say, with, a low-interest loan from the national government or something like that. No. They decided, both Tory and now Labour, to completely fuck us over. And so we're having to sell off billions of pounds of public assets, as well as having a massive increase in council tax. So we're paying through the nose for a worse service, and even the things we are supposedly paying for, we're not getting. Like having our bins collected. Literally every Friday, it's like potluck. Have the bins been collected? Have they not? Am I going to have to live with maggot-infested, rat-infested fucking trash around the place all the while? Who knows? It's like living in the 1800s. Decade of renewal. God almighty, I hate it. Anyway, so most of the decisions aren't really being made. They're being made by auditors sent by the national government to essentially try and get Birmingham's house back in order because we were in special measures, right? Because we'd gone bankrupt. So, but with inside that, there are certain things that councillors are still making the decisions on, like day-to-day running of the council and things. One of which is like public safety, right? One of the things the council has to do is ensure public safety, ensure, basic maintenance of like thoroughfares and things like that. And one of the things they did as a part of this was that they were going to remove all detritus from lampposts, which included flags, signage, political adverts, whatever, just things that could fall off of lampposts onto the floor and either be a hazard in terms of the fact that we've now got massive rats and stuff, which you don't want piles of extra rubbish piling up. There's general littering concerns. And, of course, because they're attached to lampposts, which generally light either streets where people walk or roads where people drive, they can become a falling hazard. You don't want a flag flying off a lamppost onto the front window, the windscreen of a car when it's going at 50 miles an hour in an urban area. You can see how that could be a potential safety hazard that the council might want to avoid. Now, you can say, of course, that this is overbearing, it's not that much of an issue, and all the rest of it, and there's a certain truth to that too. But either way, what the council were not doing was attacking Britishness. And that's what these dickheads think was taking place. Because this is being spun. This is being narrativized as Birmingham City Council purposely taking down Union Jacks and St George crosses alone. That's what they're taking down. It isn't true. It's not true at all. They took down all of the flags, including lots of Palestinian flags, which people were pretty fucking pissed off about as well, but didn't throw a massive tantrum about. As well as all kinds of other flags and signage and, just detritus. That's the point. It was a public safety thing. It had nothing to do with nationality. And this is where it gets, I suppose, worse in a sense. Because the narrative isn't just that they're attacking Englishness or Britishness by taking these flags down. It's that this is a part of multiculturalism. Because as always with the right, it's not just the basic concern, it's the Mott and Bailey, isn't it? The basic concern is, we want our flag. Okay, they can have a flag. I don't give a fuck. Wear whatever flag you like, it doesn't fucking bother me. It's not my flag, it's your flag. Literally, it's the flag you own. I don't give a shit. What they then push is, it's about ethnicity. It's about identity. It's about being part of an in-group and an out-group. Us and them. And that's the really dangerous element of this. And you can tell it's more about that, because if it were just the basic facts of it, it wouldn't be a concern. Because, for instance, you only need to look at literally the fucking front of the Birmingham City Council building where, oh, what's that? It's a big fucking massive Union Jack out front. Every single day. They have a Union Jack outside the Birmingham City Council building. Now, sometimes you will see... what's the other one? This fucking thing. Right. Sometimes you'll see it with that flag, which is like a blue and yellow thing. That's the flag of Birmingham. It's got like a crest of a coat of arms on it and all that shit. But even then, when they're flying this one at the top, they've got flag poles coming out of the ground that are like 20 feet high, and the Union Jack will be on one of those. So there's always a Union Jack outside of the Birmingham City Council building. Usually on top, but not always. But apparently Birmingham City Council have banned the Union Jack. Amazing. Genuinely breathtaking levels of idiocy. Really fucking stupid shit. And so, people have been putting up loads and loads of Union Jacks and St George's flags. And again, these people are against multiculturalism, but they'll put up the Union Jack, which is a combination of the flags of Ireland, Scotland, and England, because apparently Wales doesn't matter, whatever. Or the flag of St. George, who was a Greek who lived in what is modern-day Turkey, as a cultural signifier of how English they are. Is there any grift they won't just, like, fully run with? Really? Is there any nonsense they won't buy? I'm not sure.